Hello, welcome back after Christmas and New Year. Hope you had a good break, a good time of relaxing. And as we start the new year, I just encourage you just to check your own heart, check where you're at with God, and set the course. One of the words that I bring every year to the church, I heard it once myself, so I don't claim uniqueness in it, is look back over the previous year. So look back over 2022 and you know take what is good from it and all the positives, the things you've learned, and then there's probably some negative things, but you need to shut the door on those things. If there's something to put right, put it right, and use this time of year. Just give yourself a fresh start, give yourself a break, give yourself you know a new day, a new opportunity in moving forward in God. We can do that every day anyway, but you know sometimes there's times of year that allow that little bit extra focus in that way. So, well, for me, yeah, Christmas has certainly been and bench a lot going on, but um, most important thing, I'm now a grandpa. I don't know where that came from, but I do. First grandchild born, so that's fun, and celebrate his arrival. But um, yeah, anyway, overall, we're going to be continuing with John's Gospel, John chapter 7, and say over the beginning of this year, we'll continue with this Bible study. I'll be doing this again every Tuesday and Thursday. Struggling a little bit with getting them done by 8 o'clock in the morning, so I like to record them where I can first thing. But the house tends to now be very alive with people going to college and other things. So anyway, so I want to pick up on John chapter 7 and just pick out really a thought for the day out of this. So we've got Jesus. Again, you've got this strange situation that's going on there. And Jesus is someone that really, really divided the crowd. There was such a godly, God-given clarity about who he was and what he did and the way he spoke that it it created this separation. There was a lack of central ground, middle ground, and it says that Jesus, he says he went around in Galilee, but he didn't go about in Judea. Why? Because the Jewish leaders were looking to kill him. So he'd really, really, this isn't just a minor upset, isn't it? This isn't a bunch of Jewish leaders that are a little bit mad. This is a bunch of Jewish leaders that are willing to murder to protect their ground. That's how determined they were. And it's coming to the Feast of the Tabernacles, and it says Jesus' brothers were with him. This is John chapter 7, verse 3. It says, leave Galilee and go to Judea, so that your disciples may see the works that you do. You look at that and go, what's going on in their hearts? And I don't know about you, but I think if we're honest with ourselves, it's like if someone arrives in town that God is using in amazing signs and wonders, not even in a town, just somewhere in the country, yeah, and we hear about something, there is something in our hearts that draws us. We want to go and see what God is doing through someone. So I could see that if I was one of Jesus' brothers, I might well be saying to him, yeah, it's like saying I've really enjoyed the feeding of the 5,000. I've really enjoyed the things you've done. That I've really enjoyed um, the way you've taken on the Jews, the signs, the wonders, the miracles. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that wedding when there was a load of great wine at the end. And so there's that urge within the disciples to see more. They're, they're not thinking in a godly way. They're just, it's that part of human nature that is like, I want to see more of what you do. And I think there's probably an element for the brothers. There's probably an element of disbelief. They probably want to check it out and all those things. It's almost like, let us see this again. And they go on, they build a good argument here. So, because no one who wants to become a public figure acts in secret. Since you're doing these things, show yourself to the world. They're basically saying, what you're doing is so amazing. We know you haven't come here to do, you know, to be hidden. They're in their hearts. They still got this belief that he's going to come as a man to take over and overthrow really the rulers of the day. So they're saying, we think you're so amazing. It's time to go public, and it's time to declare to the world that you are who you are and demonstrate who you are. And then it says this: for even his brothers did not believe in him. Deep down, they're not sure. Deep down, they they're trying to work it out. And I think one of the wonderful things about the Gospels that we see with the disciples is this this journey that they go on. It's a journey of growing faith. It's a journey that spills right over into the Book of Acts, where um, yeah. So while Jesus is walking with them, you think, if only today I could walk with Jesus, it would all be great. My spiritual walk would be great. And then you read this, you think, now they had the same challenges. They had, you know, those things, those doubts, those fears, those anxieties going on in the heart. And so when I read this, I'm like, dear, these disciples are just like us. That actually, even if Jesus was walking with us day by day, it doesn't mean that the walk would be easy. I think that, again, you think for the disciples, if they think Jesus is going to get killed, if they're associated too closely, maybe they're going to get killed as well. If Jesus is going to get arrested, maybe they're going to be arrested. It's so there is a fear element that could take over that's associated with walking so close to Jesus. So his brothers are trying to persuade Jesus to come in a public way, and Jesus says this: "My time is not yet here. For you, any time will do." In other words, that Jesus is walking according to a plan of heaven, a timing of heaven, a way of heaven. It says the world cannot hate you, but it hates me because I testify that its works are evil. So Jesus is recognizing, he's acknowledging that his ministry brings this divide. That his story, every healing, every moment of goodness, of kindness, and everything else brings this divide. And he says, you can go to the festival. I'm not going up to this festival because my time has not yet fully come. So Jesus is learning to walk and work by the Spirit. I just want to, pick out one thing here. Jesus has not divided the crowd by being unpleasant. He's not divided the crowd by being, rude in an ungodly sense. And it's easy, I think, for Christians in their, maybe more so in the past than it was now, but in their desire, in their need, in their compulsion, in their religious fervor to share the gospel, to break lines of decency and protocol. And then when people get upset with them, they say, well, that's because of the gospel. No, it's actually because of the way you handle yourself. So Jesus isn't here saying people hate me because of the way I handle myself. He's saying it's, in simple terms, it's because of the message that I carry. It's because of what I carry. Oop, just going to put a pause on a second. But sorry, that pause was I was going to sneeze, and I don't think you wanted that on camera. So, so Jesus is not being rude. He's not. That's not what's causing people to be against him. And I think we have to be careful that the heart of the gospel includes love and kindness. We cherish that, we value people, and a gospel that contains those things is the gospel that we bring, the gospel we represent. So we find that Jesus allows his brothers to go, and then eventually he went not publicly but in secret. I love that. It says that the Jewish leaders were watching Jesus. Where was he? And there's a whispering among the crowd. He's a good man. Other people think he's deceiving people. He's got people talking, and people weren't talking publicly, they were talking privately. There was this whispering in the crowd. And the amazing thing is, I love this, that somehow, and this is a miracle, that Jesus, who's already got well known, has somehow managed to walk in through the crowd unnoticed, choosing, you know, his moment. And it says it was halfway through the festival when Jesus went to speak. And even then, as we'll see, they don't quite, I don't think, recognize who he is. Well, that's a interesting little passage to start the year. I bless you. I pray that you have a wonderful day. Look forward to catching up and seeing some of you soon. Bye for now.